What up, peeps? It's your boy Lamzio coming with another real review. I just watched the pilot episode of the TV show Lanterns in 4K and Dolby Vision. Let's talk about it. So, confession. I'm not up to speed on my Green Lantern history and storyline, but from what I remember, I thought they were a more noble group who had a bigger sense of values and integrity, right? So just off the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1, I'm not getting that vibe from Kyle Chandler, who was portraying the titular character. I do remember that Hal came with an amount of cockiness, and that part of the character I'm getting, but his sense of responsibility to the Lantern Corps and to the seriousness of the ring, not so much. Although this is just a pilot, I was expecting some kind of background development on the how and why the next Lantern, John Stewart, who's portrayed by Aaron Pierre, was chosen. And as Hal's hologram mentioned, why the Corps decided to change the game up and let Hal train a successor in the first place. But that didn't happen off the bat, so let's see how the story progresses throughout the season. Let me know if I have all my information wrong down in the comments. I'm not a big fan of Hal's approach in training John either. It seems almost irresponsible and haphazard without any real tactic or regime. Maybe because this is his first time in the role as a mentor or trainer, and his approach isn't as polished, but that just goes back to the reference I made above about how I perceive the Lanterns to be, but I guess time will tell if this fits. I love seeing Aaron Pierre in this role. He's been on my radar for some time, and I'm hoping that he's able to capitalize on this role and soar to new heights. His performance was suitable, and I think it fits his character, seeing the whole 5 minutes of the opening as he was groomed as a youth. There's definitely room for improvement, and I'm hoping to get a Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Wonder Man performance from this series out of him. The sheriff, played by Kelly MacDonald, was the character I was drawn to. She was fierce, witty, and tough when she needed to be, but she wasn't an asshole. I expect good things from her going forward. Writing and dialogue were good, and the small banter between Hal and the sheriff was entertaining. So let's hope the writing stays at least on this level and/or improves for the better. Of note, this isn't labeled as a comedy or dark comedy, but there's definitely a comedic aspect to it. Not belly-busting comedy, but comedic timing that isn't out of place and kind of just fits. Overall, I give this one a solid B- because it was just slightly on the slower side for me, other than all the niggles that I mentioned above. This has been another real review by Lamzio. I'll be reviewing the entire season once it finishes later this year, so stay tuned. Peace.